Hi. Okay. Are we live, Hannah? Okay, great. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. How are you? I can't see you. Can you scoot a little? I'd like to be able to see everybody. Thank you. Okay, great. Hi, I'm Chandra. How many people are here for the first time? Welcome. Yeah, first time to my class? Yeah, first time to the Alembic? No, some. Yes, yes. Good, great. Well, this is a regular thing here on Tuesday nights, 7 to 8:30, releasing into presence. It's my regular class. However, next week I will not be here, and you will have the treat of a very VIP substitute teacher, Michael Taft, will come. So he is really one of the founding teachers here. He normally teaches every Thursday. That's his slot. So next week he will teach on Tuesday and Thursday. So I will be at Esalen. So if you want to come to Esalen with me, you're welcome to come too. In any case, that's where I'll be Monday through Friday for a retreat on the 4 foundations of mindfulness, a sutra teachings by the Buddha on mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of feelings, mindfulness of thoughts, the contents of the mind, and then mindfulness of the objects of the mind or phenomena. So that is the theme of the retreat at Esalen next week, in case you're curious. And then I will be back after that. Also, we've just confirmed that October 29th, we will do a Feeding Your Demons night with art. So it'll be a 2-hour class, 7 to 9. And we thought, what a great night to do it right before Halloween. And it will be an integration night after the death sangha of Michael Taft. How many people have done the death sangha with Michael? It's his annual thing. It's kind of cool. It's a really neat ritual. Yeah. So we are celebrating impermanence and going into the darkness and learning to fly like the dakinis, sky dancers. And common beautiful teaching in Tantric Buddhism is the dakini principle, is the enlightened feminine principle of the sky goers. But metaphorically, really what that is the prana within us, the pranic body, the subtle winds within us, ultimately learning to fly within the space of the central channel. So that's what I mean when I say learning to dance, learning to fly within the absolute dimension of space. In any case, here we are. We have some other announcements. A couple of things are happening this week. I think are you on Saturday or Sunday? Oh, I'm sorry, you're tomorrow. Okay, let me announce Michael and then I'm going to hand the mic over to you. I'm sorry. Okay, so I have been tasked with another announcement. Michael Taft is doing a workshop called the Hacking the Stack, not hacky sack. Hacking the Stack. It's an in-depth exploration of the 4 stages of awakening, a style of really his method of exploring the path to enlightenment. Reversing the stack is a wonderful method that he's developed over the decades of his teaching. Yeah. How many people study with Michael Taft? Yeah, a bit. So wonderful teacher. So that is on Sunday, from 10 to 5. So if you haven't studied with him, I highly recommend it. And you can also tune in remotely. If you can't come in person, you can register and tune in live remotely and or watch it after the fact. All right, cool. And then tomorrow is a very special event with David. And are you co-teaching with somebody else as well? Or Oh my God, I didn't know
Based on
that's
my own near-death experience.
really. What time is that?
7.
7 o'clock. And in this room? One of these
It'll
rooms.
be in this room, and it's going to be streaming live. So if anyone out there is listening and they want to sign up by donation,
Very
live
cool.
streaming.
Yes, that sounds fascinating. Yeah, great. And you normally live in Spain, right? At this point in your, in of your life. And he is in my 21 Taras online course. So we've been seeing each other for a couple months now online. And it's so fun to see you in person. Welcome to the Alembic. Is this your first time to the Alembic? Great. Well, welcome. And I hope many people come on out and support you and learn from you tomorrow. And I'm sure people can ask you more about your offering after class. We often gather for tea after class, and so you can ask David some questions if you're curious about what he's going to offer tomorrow night. Okay? I think that's all for now. Okay, so let's begin. What we'll do is we will take a few breaths, drop in, arouse our motivation for our evening, and like usual, we begin with an opening prayer, and you have that. You should have that. And try not to put the prayer sheets on the floor. I like to invite you to, even if you want to put it on your zabuton, or if you have a block or a pillow or something like this, it's nice to put texts that have Dharma teachings or any sacred teachings not on the floor, not where we put our feet, just to show respect. Mantras as well, because these sacred words can bring us to awakening. They themselves are not necessarily intrinsically sacred, but it's the message that they convey to us that can bring us to awakening. And therefore, traditionally, um, we try to carry on this beautiful um, way of showing respect by not sitting on them, not stepping over them, not stepping on them, and not putting them on the floor. So I ask that you do that. So we'll do the we're going to do the Ganesha prayer. We'll go right to the Ganesh prayer, and we'll do some goddess prayers at the end. So we'll save the goddess for last. All right. So let's close our eyes. Take some breaths. And feel your belly. If you wish, take your hand or both hands and put them on your belly as a way to help you ground. Feel that earth element and water element. Really, those two elements are predominant at the base of the torso, the bowl of the pelvis as you breathe in and out. Feel any tension that's stuck up in the head and shoulders, the back, upper body starting to drain, and feel your awareness drop down into your belly as you take a few more deep breaths. Feel tension melting out of your jaw, and your face, your shoulders. And tension out of your back and your belly softening. Just really letting yourself arrive here more fully. Good. And in this way, we've connected to this this jewel of the hara, the bowl of the pelvis, just like Ganesh in this prayer that we recite to Ganesh, the Ganesha invocation that you have. It's the second prayer on the first page of your prayer sheet there. And what we're doing is we're invoking him as the remover of all obstacles, especially the obstacles to learning and ultimately obstacles to realization. And we're saluting him, celebrating him as the being with the curved trunk and the large body. So, in a way, we kind of are like him when we feel our belly. He has a big belly. And he shines splendorous like a million suns. And so I'll call and you can respond line by line. And then we'll do 11 repetitions together as a group. If you wish, you can bring your hands together in prayer. And of course, if you don't feel any devotion to Ganesha as some deity out there, that's fine. We can just enjoy the sounds, these ancient sounds of Sanskrit, the lineage, the millennia of these sounds being chanted. And if you wish, you can just listen. Vakratunda mahākāya, Vakratunda mahākāya, Sūrya koṭi samaprabha, Sūrya koṭi samaprabha, Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Sarvakaryeshu sarvada, Sarvakaryeshu sarvada, Vakratunda mahākāya, Sūrya koṭi samaprabha, Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Sarvakaryeshu sarvada, Vakratunda mahākāya, Sūrya koṭi samaprabha, Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Sarvakaryeshu sarvada, Vakratunda mahākāya, Sūrya koṭi samaprabha, Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Sarvakaryeshu sarvada, Vakratunda mahākāya, Sūrya koṭi samaprabha, Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Sarvakaryeshu sarvada, Vakratunda mahākāya, Sūrya koṭi samaprabha, Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Sarvakaryeshu sarvada, Vakratunda mahākāya, Sūrya koṭi samaprabha, Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Sarvakaryeshu sarvada, Vakratunda mahākāya, Sūrya koṭi samaprabha, Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Sarvakaryeshu sarvada, Vakratunda mahākāya, Sūrya koṭi samaprabha, Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Sarvakaryeshu sarvada, Vakratunda mahākāya, Sūrya koṭi samaprabha, Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Sarvakaryeshu sarvada, Vakratunda mahākāya, Sūrya koṭi samaprabha, Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. And on the other side, you'll see 2 prayers for bodhicitta, the aspiration that we generate at the beginning of our practice to awaken for the benefit of all beings everywhere. And this first syllable, ho, is a Sanskrit syllable that is a celebration. It's like an exclamation of joy. And so we say this together. Lately, I think you've been thinking it's just me who says it. So I want to invite you to say it with me, because it's a joyful thing for all of us. So we say, ho. And then I noticed with my poor progressives, I only noticed last week that there's a typo. It should say led astray. So then we read it together. So these are 2 classic Buddhist prayers for bodhicitta, for compassion. So, and if you wish, you can take this bodhicitta prayer mudra, the 2 middle fingers pointed upright, the signals, it's like an antenna, the single pointed intention to awaken for the benefit of all beings. Ho, led astray by myriad appearances like reflections of the moon in water, beings wander in the endless chain of samsara. To bring them ease in the radiant space of awareness, with the 4 boundless qualities, I arouse bodhicitta. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be separated from the supreme joy that is beyond all sorrow. May all beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. So let's take a couple minutes to move the body mindfully before we sit. I'd like to invite you to stand up, and I'll just offer some movements, but I also really want to encourage you to do whatever you want, meaning listen to your body. If you want to do completely different movements, don't be shy about that. I'm just here to offer people who don't know what to do something to do. All right, I'm going to reach up, inhale, and then make little like micro movements, reaching up to the sky, lengthening from the waist up. Can bow the head and lengthen the neck. And if you wish, you can make the movements larger. I'm healing from a back injury, so I'm making my movements small, but you can make them bigger. Point is to get the movement, the chi to move through the body. Can rotate the shoulders now. Little bend in the knees is nice for the low back. Sometimes I offer more structured movement, and then other times I like to just freestyle it with you guys. Then reverse if you want. And all the while, start to deepen your breath. This is like preparation for meditation. So we're slowing down the breath to help the mind start to land more fully in the body. Relaxing the body, smoothing out the nervous system, Maybe a lot of you have been working at the computer today, so you can rotate the wrists. Relax the shoulders. And then reverse. A little smile on the two corners of your lips. Lift the brow. Notice, are you furrowing? Sometimes it's nice to check in on yourself, like, what's my resting face doing? And brighten the mood a little bit with a little upturned corner of the lips, a little lifting of the eyebrows. Notice how it changes the internal atmosphere. Last couple moves, just moving the hips if you want, both directions. And then we'll do the knees. Reverse. Breathing into your belly, releasing tension with the out breath. Bring your feet together. If you want to do the knees, this is a nice kind of martial arts and shadow yoga type thing with the knees. Feet should be together with this one. It's safer on the knees. A nice deep bend in the knees if you can. Make little circles with the knees. It'll also start to build some heat in the legs, which is good for a longer sit. We're not going to do an epically long sit tonight, but when you sit for a while and then reverse, the legs can get stagnant. So it's nice to have a little bit of circulation beforehand, a little heat to avoid that stagnation. Good. All right. Now, last big move here. Stand a little wider. Inhale. Make sure you don't hit your neighbor here. Spread out a little bit. Good. And then inhale. Inhale. One more. Let out a big sigh. And then now make fists and then hit yourself. Pound the shoulders. Let it drop like dead weights. So you make fists and then drop. Good. Drop. It's like cheap massage. So a lot of tension gets built up in the shoulders there. We can pound it down. Okay, last one. Good. And then inhale, we'll shake it out. Again, 2 more times. Again. Good. All right. Now find your way to your meditation seat. So decide, okay, for about a 35-minute sit, do I want to sit up? Do I want to recline? Do I want to be in a chair? Make sure you're comfortable and that you have what you need. Because then I'm going to ask you, without tension or rigidity, to sit as still as you can, okay? Because when the body is still, then the mind has a fighting chance to drop into limpidity, still, calm clarity, like a pool of water that's been undisturbed. So take a moment really to set yourself up. Sometimes when we sit, we might not notice that we're leaning forward or slouching down. So it can be nice to rock forward a little bit and back on your seat. little bit of a tuck and tilt with the pelvis. And then start to make that movement a little smaller until you come to your still point in the center. Find your plumb line. And then rest at ease in that equilibrium. Good. And then maybe take a moment and squish the shoulders up around your ears, and then consciously relax them down away from the ears. And feel the shoulder blades relax down away from the ears and the arms. Relax. The hands can be palms down on the thighs, or if you prefer, you can rest the palms on your lap, the left palm supporting the right, and the two thumbs gently touching in a circular shape. This is the mudra of meditative equipoise. The elbows would be rounded and a little bit of air moving beneath the upper arms and the torso. In either case, the chest is buoyant, lifted slightly. The spine is straight but not rigid. Good. The chin is slightly drawn in towards the center of the throat, lengthening the back of the neck. Lift up at the base of the skull to allow more space and circulation at the occiput, that top vertebrae that supports the base of the skull. That's it. So the feeling in meditation is that you're alert. You're not just sitting back on the couch watching TV. Something special is happening here. So a feeling of alertness, wakefulness, yet infused with relaxation and ease. Like an utter permission to let it all go, all of the posturing, all of the control. And let yourself just be here, being with the breath in the body. Just feeling the natural flow of the in and the out breath moving in and out through the nose and or the mouth, if that feels more appropriate for you today. And the eyes can remain closed here in the beginning. Later, I'll invite you to open the eyes slightly. But in this first phase of shamatha, calm abiding, we'll practice with the eyes closed or slightly hooded if you prefer to allow a little light in. Feel the breath smooth like silk, at ease, uncontrolled. Soothing the body as you breathe in, soothing the body as you breathe out. The Buddha taught that mindfulness of breathing brings peace, calms the mind, brings bliss, clarity, non-conceptuality, in the sense that we abide with awareness, but we're untethered, we're unpulled, unconstricted by thoughts. And that breath awareness can take us all the way to liberation. This simple attention to this miracle of the breath that's always with us, as long as we are living in this body. You always have this. Soothing the field of the body, I breathe in. Soothing the field of the body, I breathe out. And even though it feels inspiring and nice to soothe the field, the whole field of tactile sensations of the body as you breathe in and out, this trickster of a mind always comes in and entices us to follow it off into daydreams and fantasies. And that's okay. Just acknowledge it, touch it lightly, and then internally say to yourself with the in-breath or the out-breath, soothing the field of the body, I breathe in. Soothing the field of the body, I breathe out. This is your mantra. It's called a gati, your phrase of mindfulness. And unify your attention, your mindfulness with this phrase and the experience that it incites within you. Soothing the field of the body, I breathe in. Soothing the field of the body, I breathe out. If the phrase feels too cumbersome or long, you can shorten it. Soothing body, breathe in. Soothing body, breathe out. Release distraction as soon as it arises and come back to the breath and the phrase. Give this gift to yourself. And now shifting from shamatha with the breath as the anchor, now we will shift to the mind itself as the anchor of shamatha. So now gently begin to open the eyes, gazing at a comfortable angle towards the floor. And soften the gaze just past the level of the nose. You're not gazing at the nose. It's as if you're gazing into the space between you and the floor, or you and whatever visual field is in front of you. Relax the muscles around and behind the eyes. And feel free to blink whenever you need to. If this is new to you, feel free to rest the eyes and then open them again. And maintain an awareness of the breath in the body just as you had before. And let that shift into the background, soothing the field of the body as you breathe in and out. But now we take the domain of the mind itself as the anchor or the object of shamatha, of calm abiding, the object of your mindfulness. It's as if you're gazing upon a stage, and thoughts are like actors entering and exiting the stage. You're simply observing without grasping, without identifying onto those thoughts. Observing thoughts and feelings, sensations, memories come and go within this domain of the mind, free of grasping, free of distraction. This is called settling the mind in its natural state. Its natural, limpid, wakeful, clear, luminous state. And yet to experience that, we have to let the muck settle, the busy mind, the superficial thoughts that come and go. And that's not a value judgment, that's just the busy mind. Let that settle so that you can experience the depths of the natural state, the clarity of your own mind. And with shamatha, we use these two aspects of mindfulness and introspection. Mindfulness is that quality of remembering to attend to the object of meditation. In this case, it's the mind, the domain of the mind itself. And introspection is that quality of knowing, of checking in on yourself from time to time. How am I doing? Am I lost in thought? Am I sinking into dullness? And then adjust accordingly. Increase clarity or increase relaxation. If you're sinking into dullness, increase clarity like turning up the dial of clarity. If you're lost in excitation and distraction, then release with the out-breath, relax, and let relaxation suffuse your meditation. About 85% of your attention, your awareness is in mindfulness. About 15% of your attention is in introspection. Mostly mindful awareness, attending to the domain of the mind itself, releasing distraction, releasing grasping, observing the domain of the mind, the space between thought. Rest your awareness from the vantage point of that awareness that suffuses thought rather than thought itself. And then from time to time, check, how am I doing? That's introspection. Self-reflection. Look inward. Am I spacing out? Am I too tight or too loose? And release with the out-breath and return to rest, shamatha, settling the mind in its natural state. And when the mind has a degree of stability through shamatha, from time to time, turn the mind back to look at mind, vipassana. Look at the looker. Just find the nature. Who is meditating? Who is lost in distraction? And then observe. Can you find the looker? Can you find that agent called the mind? That agent that is meditating. Look and then release and rest in the experience. When you look, it's like a phantom. This mind, this thought, this idea, this concept we hold so solid actually lacks in solidity, lacks intrinsic existence from its own side. So we see its empty nature. And yet there's still an awareness, there's still cognizance. Rest in that cognizance, rest in that experience of wakefulness, and let yourself soak it up, bask in it. From time to time, you may notice the outflow, projection of the mind, the senses flowing out. Turn that outflow back in upon itself. Look, mind looks at mind. Look, and then release and rest. And you may even identify awareness, Rigpa, your own true nature, your face before you were born. So you need to stretch your legs. You want to stand up for a moment? Yeah, you stand up. Feel free to stretch. Did you find the looker? I love Khenpo Tsewang Dungyo Rinpoche. He says, "Look at the looker." I've whoa, trippy. Look at the looker. Look at the looker. Look at the looker. Look at the looker. There's an echo in here. So we just did like an arc of shamatha with the breath, shamatha with the mind, and then in a sense, it's like a technique that I'm going to talk about based on one found as a technique recommended in the slogan we'll focus on, where it's called direct liberation, where you turn and you look at the looker. Mind looks at mind. It's like you kind of like diffuse the momentum of projection. Did you feel that last moment there? Did you get a sense a little bit? Yeah. How did that feel? If you want to share, you don't have to. There's a mic. Don't need it, but.
For me, like,
Oh wait, she was about to share, and then you. Yeah.
any thought or distraction that was coming up, it came up and then I was immediately naming it for what it was. So it'd be like judgment or image or past or work, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, even labeling it felt like the mind's work. There was even felt like more of a witness, even deeper than that. That
Yes.
have a language.
Yes. 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 Yeah, like pre-language. Yeah. So then it's like, who's labeling, right?
Yeah.
And then who's experiencing that? Who's asking? And then you keep asking. Yeah. Who's meditating? Did you taste it a little? A sense of the source, A little?
That felt like the looker.
Yeah.
Can you speak up a little?
Yeah, we need the mic, huh? We don't have the mic in here tonight, do we? Do we have it? We had it we were doing good for a while. We had the mic. We're so professional. Thanks, Carson.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so it felt like the looker. So when you say it felt like the looker, so I asked if, she'd, what is that? What was the experience like?
it's just a very quiet witness, very quiet, just felt consciousness of all the kind of words that are happening in the mind, like the thoughts and the labeling of the thoughts. Yeah, it feels like it sits here somewhere in my core.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Yeah. Good.
Thank you.
Good. It's good to touch it, to even ask, to flirt with it. Yeah. To be like, oh, you're here. Even though I've never even dialed your number before. Thank you. Yeah. What's your name?
Medina.
Medina. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, good. Yes. Kate.
Well, you asked what was it like looking at the looker, right?
Yeah.
And for me, it was like looking is already quite an expansive experience. And then it's like this whole nother level of expanse opens up. And simultaneously like a going deeper in.
Yes. Yes.
And kind of also like a focus from like blurry to clarity, kind of like a
Yeah. Good. 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 Clarity is a very key word in the experience of turning to look at the looker, in the sense as well. Like you said, coming into focus, right? It's like going from abroad to then bringing that experience into more focus, right?
Mhm.
But then like clarity also in terms of, could it be like luminosity also, like a light clarity? Because there's a beautiful term in Dzogchen, Great Perfection terminology, which I know you're steeped in. When describing this experience of Rigpa, which is this primordial awareness that we're kind of tracking back to, Selwa, Selwa, and it can either be translated as clarity or luminosity, depending on the poetics of where you are in the text and how you want to translate it. But both are accurate. So I know you were talking about clarity in terms of like coming into focus, and that's one aspect of it. But then there's this quality of light, like luminosity, that it like illuminates everything that it shines upon.
Mhm.
No?
Yeah, I mean that resonates with the experience, like,
Yeah.
you know, or at least kind of in this moment, because I had a lot of I guess like dullness to begin with,
Sure.
and then after staying with that for a while, it was like the mind or the thoughts, I felt like they kind of just dropped out from under me a bit, and I was just kind of then left in this kind of light space, this light and open space.
What a great fortune for the dullness just to drop out from under you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then left with spaciousness. And
Yeah.
yet that is another experiential expression of Rigpa, spaciousness. So the sense is that when you open to, it's like when you open the space for the experience of your true nature to shine through, those natural qualities shine. They present themselves to us, right? Spaciousness, luminosity, clarity, and then cognizance, like a knowing, like a presence. You use the word cognizance, right? Or a no, something like that, like knowing, consciousness. So like that, like you're conscious, you're awake in it. There's a knowing quality to Rigpa is the Tibetan word. Vidya is Sanskrit for this primordial awareness, Buddha nature, you know. They're all fingers pointing at the moon, right? They're not the moon itself, but it's nice to try.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. It's not always easy to speak from experience. So when people are willing to do it, or when the words come, it's a gift. So thank you for sharing. Sometimes we have experiences, but we can't always describe. So I think we all benefit when you share. Yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah. So shamatha, like what Alan Wallace, one of my very important mentors, would always say, shamatha vipassana, these are two very important techniques that the Buddha taught, core techniques for the path of awakening. Shamatha, which is calm abiding, it's what we were doing at the beginning, is for like cleaning the mirror, you could say, but he would say cleaning the lens of the telescope. Like if you're going to look out into the cosmos, you can't have a foggy scope. You have to see clearly. So we've got to clean it, people. Most of us, we come to meditation with super foggy telescopes. It's just living in this world with the toxins and the karmas that we have, and the habit patterns and the self-doubt and the thoughts, all of this stuff. It's like cloudy muck that's cooking up the lens. So shamatha, building our concentration, clarifying the mind, settling the murkiness of the pond of the mind so that the water becomes more clear. That's what shamatha is. That's why we have to apply ourselves. Nobody can do this for us. And you have to do AOC, ass on cushion. Or I like, my side or my back on cushion, like however you can get yourself there. And then Vipassana is then the actual looking out through that clear lens. Insight, Vipassana, clear seeing, deep seeing. And that is the seeing into the nature of reality, the nature of phenomena. So we don't just clean the lens and then go, oh, nice, clean lens, which would be just like sitting around in shamatha land. We actually then use that lens, we put it on the scope, and then we look out into the cosmos with it. That's vipassana. Insight, we look. So when you looked at the looker, you were using the telescope that you had just cleaned up, then you put the lens on, and then you looked in. You turned it around. Like Thurman calls us, the psychonauts. We're not astronauts, we're psychonauts. We're going in. Yes, and what's your name?
My name's
Anne?
Yeah.
Anna?
I was wondering why we did that portion with our eyes open. I'm more new to.
Could you use the mic?
I was wondering about the eyes open portion
Yes.
and what that contributed. I found it very hard. I'm new
Yeah.
to that experience,
Yeah.
and curious about the differences between the eyes open versus eyes closed. Vipassana.
Yes. Yes, so both have merit. Eyes open, eyes closed. I like them both. Many traditions do both. Especially with settling the mind in its natural state, that second phase, it's very good to do it with the eyes open because it gives us a sense of really being able to gaze into the domain of the mind. It's like as if, remember when I said open the eyes and then shift the attention into the domain of the mind itself rather than the breath, and observe thoughts come and go like you're watching actors on a stage. So it may take you a while to get used to that, but over time, you would find that it becomes more accessible, and you start to be able to, in a sense, almost like watch the mind, but outside, but inside, not in or outer, and then the whole duality of outer and inner starts to collapse. And then we start to realize, oh yeah, I can be meditating throughout my whole day. I don't have to just meditate when I've got my eyes closed. So it also helps us to train up to do what ultimately we're supposed to be doing, which is meditating in every step of our life. And the whole idea that meditation is mostly done with the eyes closed is a misperception of the tradition, really. Yeah. Certain schools do it, other schools don't. But I will cite Alan Wallace, who is a very, very, very consummate scholar, historian, translator, teacher. He has looked and searched through the sutras, and nowhere can he find anywhere in the root sutras where the Buddha taught to close your eyes when you meditate. Closing your eyes became very popular in some of the South Asian traditions of Burma and Thailand and other traditions like that. I love meditating with my eyes closed. I have no gripe with it. But the gripe I have is when people, because that's the way they learned, especially Westerners, that's the way they learn. They think it's the only way. And that when people like me invite them to open their eyes when they meditate, and they think that I'm crazy. I'm not saying you do. I'm joking. I'm trying to get a laugh. But people, you know how Westerners, we learn one way and we think that's the only way. We don't realize we're the frog in the little well, that the world is a lot bigger than our little well. So I don't think that's where your question's coming from at all. I'm just using that question as a way to help all of us open our minds and our perspectives a little bit more. Like, try it. Try. That's why I like to give you the experience of starting with the eyes closed and then feel the difference between closed and open. It takes a while. That's why please close, blink, rest, and then open. Over time, the eyes will relax. They'll get used to it. The watering, the blinking will die down, and you won't need to do it so much anymore. Then there are techniques of raising the gaze, sky gazing, where your gaze is lifted, and that's a whole nother experience. It starts to open up different channels in the body that lead to the heart, and it's very interesting. Yeah, but it can take time, especially when we're used to meditating with the eyes closed. Okay, I have a plan tonight, and I don't know if we're going to get to the plan. I wanted to do some chanting and teach on a slogan, and we're definitely not going to get to do both. I have my harmonium here, so I'm thinking the slogan, the instruction can wait till for. Maybe I need to make this class 2 hours. No, I wouldn't do that to you. Is it okay if we not take the question? Are you sure? Okay. Okay, my dear. Okay, so I want to do everything. Be a teenager. I had my teen with me this past weekend, so now I'm talking like a teen. I want to do everything. Kevin, what should I do? I always ask Kevin, what do you want to do tonight? I overplanned again, so help me whittle it down. What do you want to do? Okay, good. Well, that's what I want to do. Okay. I also brought my JBL. Okay, we are going to chant. It's good to see you. I wasn't sure that was you.
Yeah. 4 or 5 years, maybe.
I know. You living in the Bay Area?
No, I was taking care of my mother in New Jersey, but she passed last month.
I'm sorry.
She was 94.
Wow.
She had a good long life.
She had a good long life. Well, in a way, I feel like saying congratulations to her. Like, that is a victorious, long, good life. My mom is 84. I pray she could live till 94. I would be lucky. Yeah. Well, good to see you. All right, good. Well, you will get your wish. And we'll dedicate it to your mom. What was her name?
Celeste.
Celeste. I love that name. We'll dedicate tonight to Celeste. Okay. I want to sing to Saraswati. It's not on your sheet, this mantra. And but it's an easy mantra. It's to Saraswati, who is the goddess of wisdom. You can come up close if you want to come back up close. I like it when we chant for people to be closer. Can you guys scoot up? Scoot a little closer. This is the tambura, but it's on iTabla Pro. Okay, so Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge, of wisdom, of learning, and her more straightforward mantra. The 21 Tara is also, the second Tara is Tara Vajra Saraswati, but her mantra is a little longer. We'll do her mantra at some point, but tonight I want to teach you a simpler mantra, universal Saraswati mantra. How's the volume? Can you hear my voice okay too? Om, Aim, Saraswati Namaha. So Aim is her seed syllable. It's like her bija mantra. It's like the stem cell of her. And then Saraswati means to Saraswati. So we are praying to her. Namaha. I honor her. We name her. So I will call and you can respond. I'll join with you a few times. So call and response, it means I sing alone, you can listen, and then you sing alone. I call you and you respond. Saraswati Namaha. Your turn. Saraswati Namaha. Saraswati Namaha. Now your turn. Saraswati Namaha. 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 Now this next one is to Tara, the Savioress, she who saves all beings from harm, danger, suffering. This goes Om Namo Tara. I don't believe this is on your sheet either, but it's very simple. Om Namo Tara. Om, I pay homage to Noble Tara, the Savioress. Has two parts, a low and a high part. If you're new, you can just listen and then join in when you're ready. A lot of you already know this. Om Namo Tara. 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 Om Namo Aryatara. 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 With the sound of the bell, let's imagine that all of the blessings, all of this positive merit energy radiates out like sound waves to all beings everywhere, relieving suffering and liberating beings in all the realms. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Om Namo Aryatara. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May it be so. Thank you, everybody. Emaho! How wonderful! Paul, it's so good to see you. And may your dear mother go home in the clear light and be liberated in the clear light of luminosity. Yeah. Okay, my friends, take care. It's good to be with you yet again, and I will see you in 2 weeks. And I hope you come and see Michael next week. Probably should sign up ahead of time. He's a very popular teacher, and he tends to sell out. So I think if people get wind that he's teaching on Tuesday, it might be a full house. So. And please come and support David and ask him questions. He made this incredible piece of art, a vision, right? A vision of Tara, green Tara. Can you tell us a little bit about how this came into being? Refresh my memory too.
I spent 2 years living on and off 3 months in the jungle in Peru for thousands of hours, often in communion with Śaraṇāgata and ayahuasca, with my art studio in the jungle. It's huge. It's massive. The Tara's massive. It's like the size of the whole wall. It's just a tiny little print.
Really?
Basically doing thousands of hours of ayahuasca assisted deity yoga.
Oh my God, I'm getting darshan just looking at her. I mean, you should come up and take a closer look at her.
Her eyes are dark. And so
Yeah,
it's-
like Dingso, right? Like
it's
the
a
blue-black.
window into Dharmakaya.
Yes.
And there was a very clear moment when, the typical Tanka representational style that you just do like human eyes. But there was a very clear moment where she said, "My eyes are a window into space element because they represent infinite potential.
Yes.
So make the eyes dark, which is the same color as her crown chakra."
Wow.
Way cool.
And I think I've asked you to make prints available to folks in the 21 Taras class. I don't know if you're going to do that more widely. People could ask you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
And you could frame her and put her on your shrine. She's gorgeous. So she is as big as this piece of art.
yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. Thank you. It's just amazing. I'll leave her up here. Okay, you're free to go. I know I went a little late. We are talking about having more kirtan nights. So I bring a little bit of this in on Tuesday nights, but then we're also talking about having like a separate evening at some point during the month where we bring in, more dedicated music and really focusing on chanting as meditation. So the Alembic is committed to making this happen. It's just a matter of when. Yeah.
Site specific.
Yeah.
So she's not going anywhere.
She's in your studio.
She's in the studio. She's not in the middle of the jungle.
Oh, wonderful. I feel like that is her kingdom. Like the left. Yeah. Yeah.